Welcome to the Love Hub channel, where we discuss matters of the heart and give relationship advice to women. In today's episode, we are going to talk about how to build your relationship. Whether you've been in a relationship for several years now or you're just starting out in this beautiful journey with your man, we are here to give you some tips that will help your relationship become strong, happy, and fulfilling. Remember, ladies, the Love Hub is a judgment-free zone. We don't judge women here. We are your safe space. Now let's get to the topic. Tip 1. Strengthen your emotional bond. Your emotional bond is going to be the foundation of your relationship. If you can't emotionally connect with each other, it's going to be difficult to make your relationship last. Sure, it's wonderful to be mentally and physically gelled together, but without that important emotional connection, it may be difficult for the both of you to overcome obstacles together, whether it's in your relationship or in life. Remember, the two of you are supposed to be partners, so when it comes to overcoming difficulties in your life, you need to work together, and it will be really difficult to do that if you don't have an emotional bond. It's what ties the two of you together. If you want to strengthen this, you have to learn to trust each other. You need to have empathy for each other and resolve any issues that may cause resentment, because resentment will eat away at your emotional bond. Tip 2. Maintain healthy relationships with other people. It's important for you to have a life outside of your romantic relationship. You can't just make your man your entire world. That's putting a lot of pressure on him. You can't expect him to act as your father, your husband, your best friend, your everything. It's just going to cause some resentment in the future. Imagine him coming home after a 12-hour work shift. He is mentally and physically drained. He just wants to relax, have some coffee, and just watch Netflix. Instead, he is having to deal with your emotional problems because you don't have friends to turn to. That's why it's so important for you to have healthy relationships with other people, because your man can't carry all of your burdens. It's going to be too much for him, and someday he's going to feel really resentful about it. Instead of having the strength to support you, he will just be completely drained out and he'll just get sick of it. Tip 3. Find common interests. I'm sure you already have some, and that is why you are in a relationship. You enjoy doing a lot of things together. Now, how about you sit down and talk to each other? Figure out if there are other things that the two of you will enjoy doing together. You'll also get to know each other more as you have this conversation. You'll be surprised on what other interests you share, because the last thing you want to do is just sit in front of the TV, messing with your phone and not talking to each other. People will say, well, we've been together for a long time. This is just how it is. We've gotten very comfortable with each other. And honestly, that's how you get into a rut. So it's important for you to maintain your shared interest and even discover something new that the both of you will enjoy. Tip 4. Open communication. Communication is so important. It will help you maintain a strong connection with each other because you're able to just open up and talk about things. When you have open communication, you will be able to resolve your differences. And this is so important because unresolved conflict will just damage your relationship. It will tear away at your emotional bond. So make sure that when you are feeling something, when you need to get something off of your chest, talk to him about it. Make sure that he knows how you're feeling. Don't just let him guess. Men aren't great mind readers. 95% of the time, they're not going to figure out what's wrong. It's better if you're just honest with them. And when he needs to get something off of his chest, make sure that you're there to listen. Don't interrupt him, don't nag him, don't argue with him, don't be condescending, just listen. Tip 5, compromise. When you're in a relationship, you are not always going to get your way. And if you've been spoiled your whole life, well, guess what? You're in a relationship now. The other person isn't always going to give in to what you want. This is the real world. The truth is, both of you are in this relationship because you both need emotional support. You need somebody to lean on. You need a life partner. So you can't always win. You need how to learn to give and take. You need to learn how to compromise. You need to figure out what is important to your partner, and he should do the same for you. And that way you can support each other. It will also help you set up boundaries. And that way, when your partner says, okay, this is really important to me, then that's a sign that you will have to compromise. If you want to be able to support him and keep him happy, you will have to compromise, and he will have to do the same for you. Tip 6, don't bring up old arguments. This is why it is so important for you to resolve any conflicts or issues between the two of you, because you don't want those feelings of resentment bubbling up again weeks or months or even years later. This will just cause the two of you to have the same old arguments over and over again, and it's going to wear thin. It's going to drive him away, and it may even drive you away because you're just stuck in this never-ending loop of resentment and bitterness. Tip 7. Forgive and move on. When you get into a fight and then resolve it, make sure that you truly forgive each other and move on. Like what we just talked about, don't bring up old arguments. You want to avoid getting into a loop of resentment and bitterness. So once you forgive each other, once you say, okay, I forgive you, I accept your apology, make sure that you move on. If you still have negative emotions inside you, make sure to talk to your partner about it. Really work it out before you say, I forgive you, because you do have to move on and not look back. Tip 8, don't take it out on him. When you're having a difficult time in your life, when you're going through a lot of obstacles and you're feeling overwhelmed and completely stressed out of your mind, don't take it out on him. He's not your punching bag. He is there to love you and support you. If you feel that you're not getting the support that you deserve, remember that he has his own problems too. You can't be so entitled to believe that he has to focus all of his time and attention on you. Put your big girl pants on and work on your own problems. Let him love you and support you. These are just some of the tips that will help you build your relationship and keep it healthy and strong. If this video resonates with you, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.